Under a sky dusted with twilight, the night pulsed with the quiet murmur of luxury. A storied hotel, its facade shimmering like scattered stardust, stood as a beacon of exclusivity, its inner sanctum a private haven where the heady aroma of refined cologne and time-worn whiskey mingled in the air. Within this enclave of affluence, only those granted a rare membership could enter its hallowed lounge. James Bennett, a self-made titan whose empire had been sculpted from grit and ambition, arrived for a pivotal business engagement. Dressed in a crisp navy suit that whispered confidence, he stepped into the realm of high society, a space he had frequented for years, his membership a silent affirmation of his success. Fate, however, wove a darker thread into the evening's tapestry. Officer Rachel Simmons, known as much for her rigid enforcement as for the shadow of bias that trailed her, had been dispatched to the hotel over an entirely separate issue. As she ambled near the secluded retreat, her gaze fell upon Bennett lounging regally on an opulent leather settee, casually sipping his drink while absorbed in his phone. In that moment, a discordant note struck her. A distinguished black businessman, comfortably ensconced in an environment reserved for a select few, seemed to disrupt the expected order. Without a hint of hesitation, Simmons burst into the lounge, her tone razor-sharp. "Excuse me, sir, can you explain your presence here?" Startled yet composed, Bennett lifted his eyes and replied in a measured cadence, "I'm awaiting my business associate while enjoying a drink." "Is there an issue?" Her response was swift and unyielding. With arms folded and a stern frown, she declared, "This retreat is strictly for members. I demand to see your membership credentials." In response, Bennett exhaled a quiet sigh and produced a gleaming, golden membership card from his pocket, a symbol of years of dedication and success. The card, glinting with quiet authority, was extended to her with patient assurance. But Simmons, barely glancing at the token of his legitimacy, dismissed it as she coldly ordered, "I need you to come outside immediately. I don't believe you belong here." A hush fell over the lounge as onlookers watched the unfolding drama with bated breath. Bennett's calm demeanor belied the shock of the moment. He replied softly, "I've been a member here for years. My right to be present is unquestionable." Yet, without pause, Simmons activated her radio with a curt mutter before seizing his wrist. "Stand up, you're under arrest," she announced, her voice slicing through the murmurs of disbelief. A nearby attendant scrambled forward, exclaiming, "But he's a regular patron." Still, Simmons' grip only tightened as she steered him toward the exit. Bennett, though he offered no resistance, wore an expression of restrained frustration. Around them, patrons began capturing every moment on their phones, their whispered astonishments echoing, could it truly be James Bennett, the renowned entrepreneur, in such a predicament? Within mere hours, the digital sphere erupted. Videos of the incident spread like wildfire, sparking a torrent of outrage and turning the incident into the day's hottest trending topic, a respected businessman detained in an exclusive lounge without cause. News outlets soon seized upon the story, painting a vivid picture of injustice and racial prejudice that ignited the city's collective ire. Outside the police station, an eclectic assembly of voices, young, old, black, white, converged in impassioned protest, their unified chants demanding Bennett's immediate release. Meanwhile, inside the Stark holding area, Bennett maintained a dignified calm. He had already summoned his legal champion, Mark Reynolds, a fierce advocate who despised any form of injustice. Mark burst into the scene, his tone cutting like a sharpened blade, "You'd better present a valid reason for this arrest." Yet Simmons stood firm, arms folded, as Reynolds slammed a thick bundle of documents onto a counter, declaring, "He presented his credentials, yet you demeaned him like a common criminal. This is an outrage against justice." The aging police chief, his silver hair a testament to years of service, had watched the unfolding saga with heavy regret. He turned to Simmons and said, "We must speak privately." With a defiant tilt of her chin, she replied, "I was simply doing my job." But the chief's weary eyes spoke louder, "Your personal bias has clouded your duty, and now the entire city is watching." Under relentless scrutiny and mounting pressure, Bennett was released. Stepping out into a throng of cheering supporters, he paused as a reporter asked, "Mr. Bennett, your thoughts?" Taking a deep, steady breath, he answered, I'm just relieved the truth emerged. No one at all, should endure such injustice. By dawn, the mayor's announcement reverberated across the city. Officer Simmons was suspended pending a full inquiry. An internal review, soon unveiling a troubling pattern of biased arrests, led to her swift dismissal. At a press conference, the police chief vowed, "We accept responsibility and commit to ensuring this never recurs." In a dim, solitary apartment, Simmons watched the cascade of events with mounting horror as her career crumbled. Meanwhile, Bennett emerged from the ordeal transformed, dedicating himself to championing better police practices and justice for all. And so, in an evening marked by profound upheaval, the scales of justice were irrevocably rebalanced.